Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is your captain speaking, our Capnclydes MTG. I've rounded up some pretty good news today. We've got card spikes and spoilers galore. Let's take a look at it. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, there's some links in the description if you want to help support the channel with some monetary value of buying some cards or something. But subscription is free, and that's all we need. A poet and didn't know it. So, without further ado, if you subscribe, we get to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to start giving stuff away to celebrate. It's going to be a party. So, with all that said, let's take a look at the wild things that are happening in the Magic environment. So, to start off with, Magic the Gathering cards, he's 186% price spike. Pretty tame considering how some of the price spikes have been going lately, but let's look at it. That card is none other than the Deck of Many Things. Why would that be? Well, first off, let's just try to understand what the Deck of Many Things does. 5 colorless, tap for 2 and tapping it, you roll a die 20. 1 through 9, return a card random from your graveyard to your hand. 10 through 19, draw 2. And 20, put a creature card from your graveyard on the battlefield under your control. When the creature dies, its owner loses the game. Pretty sweet card, but in Fallout, there is a card that makes some pretty cool stuff, and that would be the card that generates 3/3 robot tokens. You don't know what I'm talking about yet? It's this little fella right here. It is Mr. House, President and CEO. So this little fella can be your commander, and for a black, white, and red, he's an 0/4. Keywords here, it says, whenever you roll 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you rolled 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure token. Kind of easy to do that on a die 20. Just going to put that out there. For 4 colorless and tapping it, roll a 6-sided die, plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from the treasure spent to activate this ability. Yeah, you could roll the die 6, but why do that when you could put it in a deck that has a Deck of Many Things and just roll a die 20 constantly? Matter of fact, why would you not just put this into every deck that has nothing but D&D cards in it that say roll die 20s? And all the D&D cards that say roll an additional die if you were to roll one. So tons of silliness going on. And they go in some more talk down here. Yada, yada, yada. But basically, the Deck of Many Things is a great card. And this is causing this card to spike from just $3 at start of March to $8.50 today, according to this article. And this article is roughly a day old. So time you see this, it'll be a couple days old. Might be a little cheaper. But if I do have anything to say, you D&D guys out there who actually like rolling these 20-sided dice or 6-sided dice, or just how about make a dice roll commander deck just to aggravate your friends, because that's what commander's about, and make this guy your commander. Because that's funny, and that's what really matters. How can you not love your friend if you don't annoy the piss out of them? Especially when you're playing games. So, we have that news. Now, with that being said, let's move on to the Fallout card that's seen a 1,500 price spike following constructed. That's right, there is a card in this set that is seeing constructed play, and it is taking over like wild. What card is that? Well, believe it or not, it's the Lumbering Mega Sloth. That's right. One big slow boy. So this card, if you don't know, it says here 2 green and 10 colorless. Or an 8/8 trample, enters the battlefield tap, but also it says the spell costs 1 less to cast for each counter among players and permanents. So if you have counters on your stuff, this thing gets really cheap. And what better way to make this cheap than to play Dark Depths? That's right. Comes into play with 20 counters on it. I think it's 20. 10 counters. Comes in with 10 counters. My bad. But still, you put this into play without removing any counters, you can now play this for 2 green. And you may say, but Captain, this isn't tap for land, or tap for mana as a land, so you have to wait to turn 3. So a 2 mana turn 3 8/8 trampler that comes into play tapped is a bad thing? But wait, there's more. As you guys know, or I hope you do, the Yawgmoth Cradle, which is basically an Urborg for green, says all lands are green and can produce colored green mana, which means you lay this on turn 1 or turn 2, Lay Yawgmoth's Cradle on the other turn. That gives you 2 lands that produce green. This has 10 counters. On turn 2, you have now made an 8/8 Trampler that has 12 base casting costs, which means you can't Fatal Push it. It's also an 8/8, which means it's damn hard to kill with anything that kills small creatures. And it's probably just going to punch your opponent in the face. So, obviously, this is only playable in the older formats. However, it is playable enough. And when I say playable enough, I mean, well, everybody's playing it. So, in the Eternal formats, you can have 4 of these, and, well, when you combine it with Dark Depths or anything else you can think of with counters on it, it's pretty cool, especially when you have things like Wave Goodbye, return each creature without a +1/+1 counter on it. I mean, that can be a thing as well. It's not best, definitely not the worst. But I'll be honest with you. You can get to play this in your Thespian Stage deck with your Dark Depths, and then also have the ability to have this as a win con. Gives you extra ability to play those cards. So also here we have the Broadside Bombarders, a Haste Menace, red and 2 for a 2/2. It has a Boast, which sacrifices another creature or artifact. It does damage equal to 2 plus the sacrifice permanent's mana value to any target. So with this on turn 3, you literally punch them with a Sloth and then throw the Sloth at them, and they're probably dead. Just going to put that out there. And if they're not dead, I'm sure you can find a Lightning Bolt somewhere in your deck to kill them. At least, God, I hope so. And if that doesn't work, you just Thespian Stage into Dark Depths and make it 20/20 that they can't do anything about. There's just so much silliness going on. It's just insane. Let's see if there's a link here to Mr. Slothy Boy. I don't see it, so let's go look it up. TCG player. The hell's that thing called? Lumbering Mega Sloth. Yep. Let's check this out. Lumbering Mega Sloth. There it is. Look at the spike on that bad boy. Holy cow. So, as of right now, this uncommon is racking in around 721. It started out supposedly around 150 from what this says, so that's a big increase. Now, obviously that's not 1,500%, 1,500%, but if you look at the very bottom, at one point it was 50 cents. And now it's $7. And as people like to point out, the math is not exact. But you know what? When you're dealing with numbers like this, if I win 1 million or 750,000, I'm just going to call it good. So we have that bad boy going down, and boy, is that something to talk about. Woo, doggy. Also, Bloomburrow's got a few leaks going on, so Beadle and Grimm's is come out with a Bloomburrow token set. It's actually kind of cool. I don't know what the price is or anything, at least not from what I've read on here, but it does got some cool stuff in it. It's got this nice little tin. Looks like a lunchbox. God, I wish it was. There's no handle on it. I would love an old tin lunchbox. I'm old, okay? Let's just not go there. But we got a pretty nice food token. Can't really see it. We have a rabbit token, which we know is a thing. We have an actual Warren Leader token, which has attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 to end a turn. If you watch the other video, you learn that there's tokens that have abilities that they never had before. And this one says, whenever you attack, choose one. Create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token that's tapped and attacking, or attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 in a turn. This token's mana cost is a white and 2, meaning you can't Fatal Push it. And this seems really good. So this is probably what we're talking about when we went through Rosewater's Blogatog. So what all is going to be in this set? Well, you go here, you can see that it's a 10, its content, use a 10 and its contents to track your journey, yada, yada, yada. You get a Bloomburrow Metal Life counter, 1 to 40. I don't see where that's at on here. Metal Life counter. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be cool. Bloomburrow themed dice. You can see those here. Not the best. I mean, they got the leaf, but pretty vanilla for me, but whatever. You get 1 die 20, 2 die 10s. and 3 dice 6s. You can almost play D&D with that. 7 aluminum token cards. That's kind of cool. They'll be nice and shiny. They'll also bend real easy, so sleeve those bad boys up. 3 1/1 fish tokens that can be seen right here. Gotta admit, kind of funny. I like it. Like it a lot. And you'll get 5 +1/+1 metal counters. These little leaf right here. Which, to be fair, if they're metal and they're small, that's pretty neat. I like that. That's kind of cool. So this is going to be available Q3 of 2024. So we got a while before this comes out along with Bloomburrow. So hopefully we'll get some more stuff by then. But I'm not going to lie. This is kind of cool, and I like it. Also, anybody notice the otter that has been in previous sets? If you could name him, put it in the comment section. Because I can't remember, but I recognize him. I swear I do. I'm not on drugs. Nor am I advocating for any such things. Anyway, moving on. So, there you have it, guys. That's the news for the day. Lots to cover, lots to go over, and not too shabby. So, until next time, be kind, and as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. Later, player. Couldn't think of a rabbit pun. Hell with it. Just call it.